Gehman.
Hello. If any of you were here last time, I look way better. There's no reason for it, I just do. Also, actually, if you were here last time, one of my jokes was about how I more or less treat my dog like a person. And I thought that was just kind of something that was inherent to me, and I found out actually it's hereditary. Because I left my dog with my dad when I went out of town, and I came back and my dad was making eggs, and I had assumed, like a normal person, they were for him. I was wrong. He actually made the eggs, got done making the eggs, and stood there blowing on them for 3 to 5 minutes, and then gave them to my dog. This might not seem all that weird. I mean, I'm sure it does. But it might not seem as weird until you know that I'm 23. I lived with my dad for 23 years. He made me eggs 0 times. And I brought this up to him, and his response was, well, yeah, you have thumbs. So yeah, that's, I guess I just kind of developed an affinity for treating animals like people from my parents. So, but yeah, since I was here last, I've actually, I was a little worried about telling people that I did stand-up comedy because I know a lot of dicks. But I got over it a little, and I decided to tell my coworkers. And I didn't do any jokes about my job or about coworkers last time because I really like having money, like a lot. It's kind of my favorite thing I do. But actually they were really nice. Their only big critique was that I shouldn't wear my stupid man capris, which I still have. Me not doing what they told me to do is actually going to come up later. But no, they were really creative. They were really constructive with everything, and they actually told me I should try to do some jokes about some of the stuff I do in the office because, as they put it, they thought it would be really funny for me to let everyone know how I disappoint them. And then, for like 20 minutes, they brought up all the stupid stuff I've done in the 9 months I worked there. So apparently, if I worked there for like 5 years, someday I can just get out of an entire day of work by listening to all the mistakes I made. So that's pretty cool. That's a cool way to get paid. Now, like the biggest thing though about everything with my coworkers is just the fact that I'm so different from them. They grew up, pretty much all of them, as outdoorsmen. They're hunters. They do things, and I'm feminine by most people's standards. And so there's just this huge gap, and actually like, I'm far and away the most feminine person in my office, and that does not exclude our 5'4", 100-pound secretary. And I told her this, and expecting her to be mad. Her response was, well, yeah, you don't set the bar real high. So that's where I work. But a lot of the stuff that they were suggesting was basically just me doing stupid stuff, not really things I can make jokes out of. But there was one big thing that they love to pick on me for, and that's that I got roped into going one of those timeshare presentations a few months ago. They called and they said about how I had won a free cruise and like all expenses paid. Candy for me because free things are awesome. Everybody knows that. Especially cruises. I've never been on a cruise because I'm poor. So I ended up going, but before that, everybody, every day I went in, after learning about the cruise to when I went, was just, okay, don't sell into it. They're going to tell you all these things. They're going to try to like really get you into it, really tell you how great it is. And yeah, I know, I'm not stupid. Like I don't really have the money to do this. And so of course I went, and it was the longest hour of my life. I sat there and it was just boring, and then I bought them. And but I figured it out when I was there because they explained how much it would be, the monthly cost, and I crunched the numbers because I'm an engineer. And I figured out that the money that I was saving was actually a little bit more than the money I would have to give. And so I thought, you know, like this will be a good investment for the future. As I get more money, like I'll be able to save more and it'll be fine. And so I went in and they disagreed with me 100%. And I was like, they just don't know. And then finally I told my boss, he was one of the last people I really said something to, and he said, well, yeah, how are you gonna get there? And that was the first time it occurred to me, I now have 30 vacations all over the country and literally no way to get to any of them. There's no good way to like transition from that. That's just kind of, you just got to deal with that and move on. But it is really nice. I should end by saying I do really appreciate my coworkers and all that they've done for me. They've really adopted me as their own special needs child, and they really do try to get me to make the most out of my situations. And I apologize for picking the wrong way every single time. So, thank you.